Moving to a story we've been following for a week, a man who went in full survival mode when he went missing in the remote wilderness for 5 days. In an emotional interview, he says he could feel people praying for him across the nation, and it helped guide him home to his pregnant wife. Caden Laga ate bugs and berries to keep his energy up while hiking to find home. KPAX's Lauren Heiser has more.
I really hope the takeaway isn't that I've done this amazing thing. I was very gifted, blessed, protected. As much as a lot of things went wrong, there were a lot of key things that went right.
On Friday, August 16th, 25-year-old Caden Laga stumbled into a search and rescue camp after 5 days of being lost in the remote Idaho wilderness. He was with his family backpacking in the area when one of their horses went lame. Caden, being the strongest hiker in the group, offered to take off on foot towards the trailhead. He took a wrong turn and found himself unable to find the trail. He survived, he says, by drinking water from nearby streams and eating berries and crickets.
Pretty much flavorless. I told my niece it's like unbuttered popcorn.
Though he's in good spirits now, there were moments he feared he may never get the chance to see his wife again, or to hold his unborn son. One night near the beginning of his 5 days, it was so cold that he feared he would die in his sleep. He took out his phone and wrote a message to his wife.
I just wrote it to Arden and I just said, in case I don't make it out of here, I love you, I've loved my life with you, and I'm so sorry I left you to be a single mom.
Caden says he's thankful to search and rescue as well as volunteers. He said they faced so many obstacles and called himself a bad candidate for rescue because he kept on moving. Laga's family played a huge role in that search. Their home in Florence turned into a communication command center. The family stayed strong, but the day before Caden was found, frustration was growing.
I went upstairs, had a very, very frank conversation with God. I said, I need my husband now. I need him now. And so I went to bed, and not 5 minutes later, that's when I heard screaming downstairs of, they found him, he's alive.
Laga found the search and rescue camp because one of the volunteers had left her headlamp on the trail. The day after he was found, he was reunited with his family. Now that he's home, the Laga family was finally able to take down their command center. Their family photos are now back on the wall where they belong. In Florence, Lauren Heiser, MTN News.
Arden and Caden have decided to name their baby boy after one of the rescuers at the camp where Caden was found. Tonight we are learning more about why a grown man reportedly assaulted a 13-year-old boy in Superior after the boy wouldn't remove his hat during the national anthem. This last week, Kurt Brockway pled not guilty to those charges. His attorney, Lance Jasper, tried to explain the mindset of his client.
And he gave an oath not only to follow the orders of his commanders, but his president and that type of thing. And when you have a person that doesn't have much of a life, they only have what's core to them. And he's core, he's a veteran. And so he's going to listen to whoever he identifies with.
Jasper says his client took messages from the president's stance on standing for the national anthem. He took those to heart. Jasper added Brockway understood everybody is to observe the national anthem and is influenced by this rhetoric. This, of course, sparked backlash across the nation, and Brockway and his attorney were met with aggressive messages from across the country.
Maybe this attorney of yours, Lance Jasper, will have some integrity, honor, and patriotism and address the idea that this kind of behavior is actually not patriotic, that being a disabled veteran is not an excuse for assaulting people.
Jasper, how can you possibly defend this that slammed this kid and then blame the president? I hope the partners in your firm fire your.
According to Brockway's attorney, there is something important to mention here, and that's the context. Even if he did send a boy to the hospital, Brockway received a traumatic brain injury and, according to his attorney, functions at a 3rd grade level. Brockway also has impulse control issues. Jasper said despite causing bodily harm to a minor, his client expressed remorse to the child that was hurt.
He acted so quickly, but his intention wasn't to hurt the little boy. It wasn't. But now that he knows the little boy is hurt, it's tremendous remorse. I mean, it goes back to this impulse control. it just wasn't there. If it would have been there for a split second, it wouldn't happen.
Brockway is next scheduled to appear in court on October 23rd. The maximum sentence for felony assault on a minor, according to charging documents, is 5 years in prison and a $50,000 fine.